Namaskar, hello and welcome to this very maiden episode of Topper Stuff from Rethink India Institute. Uh, इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस पर this International Yoga Day, the Reneat was conducted and Dr. Surbi on the eve of Reneat and the Yoga Day and the summer solstice. She came on television she gave the tips, tricks and techniques for taking up the Reneat, and in that process, because of Dr. Surbhi's, I would say, very uniquely placed credentials, a lot of requests started coming in from all across the country. Ki, ma'am, why can't you help us and guide us in this arduous journey called NEET? And somehow or the other, as we have seen, due to some technical issues or the kind of design challenges for that matter, that 22 odd lakh students are appearing, a kind of a mega examination is out there of 750 marks and all, and the kind of pressure which the kids are, so how they can be hand-holded by someone who has been at the thick and thin of it all. Friends, you know that Dr. Surbi was the All India Rank 1 in the then NEET, which was CBSE PMT 1998. And she had her re-NEET experience because she missed her AIMS entrance that very year of 1998. And then she had that humbling but a very stout journey कि मुझे तो डॉक्टर बनना ही है. I think you will look at that also, that video. And then she had that immaculate experiences, the rub off of learning from the hallowed presence of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, the AIMS New Delhi, becoming one of that very 3 dozen hand-picked students from across the country, the kind of differentiated medical learning. And then she chose the differentiated career in going into medical administration, as to how healthcare facilities are run. She served some of the topmost healthcare establishments, the corporate chains like Max, Medanta, Apollo, looked after their occupational healthcare programs, worked in TPAs, third party medical insurance companies. So the entire enterprise of healthcare she had on her tips. And then her heart was, she also served some of the school community Arogyata, for that matter, institutional Arogyata. And then being a clinician had been her passion and devotion, and being mentored by doyens, doyen Imzonians, the you name those stalwarts in the Indian medical space. And being a clinician is something which had been very high on her agenda, and clinician to be as a GP, as a general physician. तो आप लोग सोचेंगे कि एज अ जनरल फिजिशियन, एज अ प्रैक्टिसिंग जनरल फिजिशियन, डॉक्टर सुरभि हैज चोजन टू सर्व द रिमोट एंड रूरल हिमालयन लोकेल्स ऑफ Kurmanchal, the Manas Khand, the state of Uttarakhand is divided into two divisions, Kumaon and Garhwal. So Dr. Surbhi serves the Kumaon division physically and digitally through her Kumaon Arogyata Abhiyan. So because she's a person of multiple talents, and being a topper herself, so her cerebral capacities have been at a different level, and a committed physician, a committed clinician, कि आरोग्यता का जो प्रदान है. एंड शी रियली एब्जॉर्ब दैट क्रक्स ऑफ the AIMS, hallowed halls of AIMS, and somewhere she felt कि if she can really give back to the aspiring medicos, some of her tips, tricks, some of the guidance. And what happens is that NEET is not that a tough examination. You have to prepare yourself adroitly well. It's more of a mental state than the core content of the subject matter out there. I am Raghav Mittal. I am a IITian from IIT, the first IIT, the IIT Kharagpur. So somewhere or the other, विसंगतियां जो बहुत हैं, भ्रांतियां जो बहुत, because it has become a huge industry. We have got 1 lakh odd MBBS seats, and then paramedical examination seats are also filled through the NEET examination. So a huge elimination is already well in place. So, and in the huge strata, the 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh students, during their entire process, they understand it. So a huge multi-billion industry has got erected over a period of time, despite the best and the earnest efforts of the government, expansion of the entire gamut under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. A lot of medical colleges have come through. So anyways, it's a very convoluted kind of a program, and Dr. Surbi is engaged in informing the larger public opinion about the future of healthcare as well, as to what will be the futuristic frontiers of healthcare, where the general physicians would be taking on prominence and predominance in the era of AI, because a GP who is supported, whose intelligence is augmented by real life networks like Dr. Surbi does it through her Amazonian grand rounds. They will also be assisted by the artificial intelligence, but with a trained medical mind. The Google doctors, the layman ones, will not be able to discern about the cascading impact of anything over there. So I think this is a lot of jargon I have been talking about. So Dr. Surbi got impressed upon, and she felt ki why not? Because being a topper, so it's a topper stuff coming from Rethink India Institute and the Arogyam Institute of Integrated Medical Sciences. So let's curate a nurturing for NEET program. NEET is the National Eligibility Come Entrance Test for all sorts of healthcare examinations. It has become a very abstracted one. सो आज का जो प्रतिपाद्य विषय है कि द वाई वॉट एंड हाउ टू बिकम अ फ्यूचरिस्टिक मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल, एंड इस प्रोग्राम के और वी विल बी डीलिंग इट. सो ओपनिंग वर्ड्स टू डॉक्टर सुरभि, व्हाट रियली मोटिवेटेड हर एंड व्हाट इज हर बर्निंग डिजायर to enter into this pre-medical examination, because being a practicing clinician, a practicing, I would say, a medical activist, Dr. Surbi has taken up the role of a medical activist as to how the clinical establishments of all denominations, they have to deliver efficacious healthcare. She has been working with the National Medical Commission, the NABH, all the regulatory bodies, giving her feedback from the ground zero to the topmost policy, intermediary policy levels as well, and accentuating a kind of a process change of multiple levels. For example, that the NEET PG should factor into the experience of the MBBS doctors for at least 3 years or 10,000 real life medical cases, aided by technology for that matter. So lots and lots of comes into her Future of Healthcare podcast, which she is also doing it, and you can see it on this Arogyam channel. You can see a host of it all, and she's also unraveling that how to make the best use of the 5 years of the MBBS program, because that is the foundational level of it all. आप कितने भी वीरता के पदक, जैसे कि द इंडियन आर्मी हैज़ गॉट इट्स 31st आर्मी चीफ, अ लॉट ऑफ मेडल्स कम ओवर देयर ऑन द ब्रेव चेस्ट ऑफ आर जवान्स, ऑफ आर ऑफिसर्स. तो डिग्रीज आर फाइन, बट MBBS undoubtedly is a unique program of 3 professionals and 12 subjects. Dr. Surbi has dealt that in a greater detail. So someone who is really supercharged with the entire continuum of healthcare, and she being a healthcare administrator, how the healthcare policies are constructed, how a healthcare system is constructed, how the incentivizations goes over there, how the huge capex of crores of rupees is actually over a period of time redeemed in the private sector, because she has been with the top corporate hospitals for that matter. So I think she is quite well placed. So ये कहते हैं कि भाई आप इतने इंद्रासन से नीचे उतर के why you want to do a NEET nurturing for NEET program, Dr. Surbi? So let's hear it from you.
So, very warm greetings to one and all, my dear NEET aspirants, medical aspirants. I am unleashing this program with a very special purpose and goal to nurture futuristic medicos, the magnanimous medicos of tomorrow, medical professionals of tomorrow, need to be created in as an army. The country, the nation needs, where the doctor-patient ratio is, something which is health in every home, health in every household. How are we going to achieve this? Not just through tertiary healthcare, by becoming specialists and super specialists. We need an all-round 360-degree cover of healthcare. And this nurturing, this foundation begins at the pre-NEET level, at the school K-12 level only. Friends, when the first inspiration, when the first aspiration, when the first ray of light, sunlight, which we say the sun is the center of Arogyata, the source of Arogyata, health, that beaming light in your life, the day you took the decision, oh, I'm going to become a doctor. From that very point, I wish to chisel sculptor, and carve out the great medicos out of you. And this is because the country needs these heroes. And this foundational course, which I say nurturing for neat topper stuff, we are going to handhold you from that elemental level to the last mile. And friends, we are going to be your friend, philosopher, guide, not just coaches.
सो
And
डॉक्टर सुरभि हैज गिवन दैट रीजन डेट्रे कि वो क्यों एक बड़ी ही सक्सेसफुल क्लिनिशियन होके एंड शी रियली चोज वैल्यू इन बीइंग अ ग्राउंड जीरो लेवल क्लिनिशियन बिकॉज like technology, I am a technocrat, so we technocrats build up a try to strive to build up a perfect system. We keep on oozing out billions and billions and trillions of dollars in creating super sophisticated systems, but friends, tell you me that despite all that collective effort of the entire technological universe, I think the human body happens to be the most perfect. Pardon the grammar part of it all, but just to lay emphasis upon it, the most perfectest machine ever. And what even the collective community of technocrats of all denominations across the globe have not even been able to match up with even a fragment of what Mother Nature has curated, has given to us. We are all in the best machine, and in the Indian parampara, we are all the divine souls. We are not just this body, we are the divine souls. That is what is the Bharatiya Sanatani Chiti talks about it, and that's the philosophical purport of it all. So doctors are someone who deal with the most perfect, most advanced. Perhaps the entire human conscious might not be able to touch even a fragment of it all, even till its eternity. तो उसको डील करने का काम जो डॉक्टर का है, उसको हील करने का जो काम है, डील एंड हील, आई थिंक दैट इज वॉट अ डॉक्टर डज, एंड इट्स अ वेरी सीक्रेट प्रोफेशन. इट्स अ वेरी सेक्रेड विद्या. चिकित्सक की जो विद्या है, वी हैव द गॉड्स ऑफ धन्वंतरी, वी हैव अश्विनी कुमार्स, वी हैव ऑल सुश्रुत्स. देयर इज अ होल परंपरा of medical sciences. There's a lot of tug of war going on in contemporary geostrategic era, the convergence of it all. And Dr. Surbi, somewhat who is practicing, who is allopathy plus Ayush. That is what she is working upon. Some of the most advanced, I would say, and futuristic frontiers she is treading and focusing her attention upon. But her raison d'etre was start early, sow those seeds of aspiration. You have to become a doctor to really heal. I think, Dr. Surbi, the Charak Soth, what is taken in the presence of AIMS, I think Ministry of Healthcare has now expanded it across to all the 818 medical colleges, irrespective of their genre. So would you please bring that core aspect of it all, that why you have to become a doctor, because that's an oath you take at your degree taking ceremony, and Dr. Surbi wants that sanskaras. We will be coming quickly to the modus operandi and dynamics of it all, but
so,
the entire philosophy, the darshan of becoming a doctor, the why हमें डॉक्टर बनना है, not to mint money. I think that is all encapsulated in the charak sod what Dr. Surbi would be just telling us. Yeah.
so you see, healing is a very, very sacred profession. It's a very sacred vidya. When you are getting the license or the right to touch and heal a human body, it's a huge, huge responsibility, friends. And the Charak's oath says, not for any material gain, not for any other selfish reason, but purely for the welfare of the patient, I will heal one and all. So the Charak's oath, this is the essence of it. It's a long oath, but this is the essence of it all. And friends, when we say healer, when you're healing, you know, there is something, it is much more than doctoring even. I use the word healing, and healing is essence is a world of compassion, an ocean of excellence, a world of a universe of skills and knowledge, but underlying foundation is compassion, empathy. And when you study with that empathy and compassion, when you study with that sincerity, gravity, that this concept is going to blow into multifaceted concepts further in your medical education and journey
So
and
Dr. Surbi has given the foundational qualification of becoming a doctor, that you should be bountiful in empathy, compassion and the commitment to heal others.
True.
Because आप जब तक दूसरे का जो मिरर पेन को मिरर नहीं कर सकते, So I think you can't become that efficacious doctor, that delightful doctor. Today we are commemorating, we are releasing this video and we are releasing this program, the Nurturing for Need program on the Doctor's Day, which is, we all know it's the Punyatithi and the Janma Jayanti Divas of Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, one of the very eminent physicians of the country. And Rashtrapati ji recognizes a lot of doctors, the physicians of the country, in his name. So I think Dr. Surbi has laid the very clear foundations of it all, that without empathy, you might become a healthcare professional, but in order to become a futuristic medical professional, the skills is one part of it all, and NEET, friends, is just the end of a grand beginning. And NEET is not that tough an examination. I would be just quickly commenting upon it. I would be just talking about the architecture of it all, the engineering of it all. And this entire program, we are calling it as the Nurturing for NEET program. It is over and beyond the conundrums and convolutions of the conventional कोचिंग सेंटर्स, बिकॉज वो जो बहुत सारा जो थिएट्रिक्स है, इट इज़ जस्ट टू, वी ऑल नो द components of it all, and it's a topper stuff. So all those who are self learners, who aspire to be, who are really sincere and the serious aspirants of it all, who want to learn it from the very comforts of their houses, and who can't afford very expensive coaching programs. Traveling is a big issue, huge money is involved, and what you get is a kind of a lot of myths, not the demystification of it all. I think डॉक्टर सुरभि थोड़ा सा बताइए, जैसा कि हम लोग देख रहे हैं बहुधा, कि एक प्रकार का थिएट्रिक सा हो गया है कोचिंग के नाम पर, और कहीं ना कहीं ये जो नीट के पेपर लीक हो जा रहे हैं, यह जो डिफरेंशियल है कि सरकारी कॉलेज और प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस के बीच में जो कॉस्ट का डिफरेंशियल है कि 1.25 करोड़ की सीट है, एक तरह से 1.25 करोड़ इज अ बिग मनी. And if you are really going to that kind of a college, spending that kind of money, and you have to spend money for your coachings as well, for bulk of our populace, it is not just possible. And Dr. Surbi, you come from a quite a privileged background, privileged family. Your father has been an IS officer, your mother has been a Delhi University professor. Still you find it tough to really afford those very costly coaching programs. तो थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में बताइए.
So you see, coaching, the NEET preparation essentially comprises of self-study and learning your concepts well. You know, the coaching, the entire idea of coaching is just to assist you, help you to understand and do this process well in a regulated, in a self-managed, in a well-managed manner. Of course, once you have your concepts in place, then comes the question banks, the test series. Now, this process, this is the crux of it all. Now, around this, we can create loads and loads of dramatization and lots of melodrama around it. But the essential core may get missed, you see. So what we want to say is, read your textbooks, your NCRTs, line by line, word by word, and interpret even between the lines, and do your concepts, study them well, correlational, multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinary learning. If you're studying the mole concept in chemistry, you're studying it in depth, And if you're studying a water molecule, H2O, it is there in chemistry, it is there in physics, it is there in biology. How it is related. So the concept is one, like the human body is one integral whole. So you have to learn to link it, correlate it, and create mind maps, flow diagrams. This is going to be the paradigm in which we are going to deliver NEET, Nurturing for NEET program. We wish to create the learner, the self-learner in you. We wish to inculcate the self-learner in you. And friends, believe you me, once you are empowered, once you've got the learning trick, the paradigm, you will do this all through your medical education career. And medical...
So friends, जब हम ये कह रहे हैं कि it is over and beyond what to say, the convolutions and dynamics of the conventional coaching centers, because वहाँ पे terms आप लोग सुनते होगे कि teach the topper and love the duffer, इस तरह का convolutions हैं. डॉक्टर सुरभि ने कहा कि केवल जो कोर आहर्यता है वो सिंसियरिटी की है, वो एम्पैथी की है, वो कंपैशन की है. तो अगर आपके अंदर वो है, सिंसियरिटी है, और यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर हार्ड वर्क, तो एवरीवन एंड एनीवन कैन बिकम अ डॉक्टर एंड आप उस प्रोसेस में अगर आप इन्वॉल्व हैं तो
Absolutely.
नीट एग्जाम तो इज जस्ट इज अ मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एंटरिंग इनटू समथिंग जो आपका आप नाइन्थ क्लास से टेंथ क्लास से आप जो भी पढ़ेंगे आपका 2 साल का तो कोर्स करिकुलम जो कि आता है एंड डॉक्टर सुरभि ने जो बताया कि द अप्रोच व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू अडॉप्ट इज इट इज़ लाइक द लीगल अप्रोच लॉ में जब आप जाएंगे लॉ कोर्सेज में यू हैव टू रीड पैरा बाई पैरा यू हैव टू रीड सेंटेंस बाई सेंटेंस एंड यू हैव टू रीड फ्रेज बाई फ्रेज तो हम लोग कोई जैजी प्रेजेंटेशंस लेकर आपके पास नहीं आ रहे हम लोग कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा एनिमेशन वेनिमेशन लेकर नहीं आ रहे दोज आर समथिंग्स विच यू आर फ्री वी विल बी गाइडिंग यू टू अ लॉट ऑफ मटीरियल वॉट एवर टाइम यू कैन रियली डेडिकेट आउट ऑफ इट क्योंकि कोचिंग का अर्थ ये नहीं है कि वी विल डू द हार्ड वर्क फॉर यू बिकॉज जैसे भोजन हम आपके सामने परोस सकते हैं आपको बता सकते हैं कि 56 भोग आपको किस ऑर्डर में खाना है कि जैसे साउथ इंडियन थाली हम खाते हैं तो उसका एक मैकेनिज्म है 5 कोर्स मील अगर आप गुरमे मील कहीं खाने जाते हैं तो देर इज अ प्रोसेस टू इट so we will tell you the process and that is what is nurturing it is not we will bring the horse to the water but we will not make you drink it that has to be done by you and you alone so this entire ncrt textbooks thankfully ncrt has given the lovely pdfs of it all we will be spending hours and hours together of discussion and deliberations on top of it since it's an orientation session so the entire chemistry physics and biology because biology has two parts zoology and botany so we would be spending a substantive more time into that and the approach would be to create concept level small videos and to emphasize upon the concepts and you will see that power packed delivery if it goes into your ears because a lot of learning happens the neuro linguistic programming happens for the need because a lot of content has to be absorbed these days हम लोग कहते हैं रटंत विद्या फलंत नहीं पर आप जब तक even the best of the AIs what we see they have huge data centers huge databases to devour upon and on those data sets the large language models they operate upon and then they produce the new aspect so when you put up a query in any of the AI chatbots it comes from the foundational database if you don't have the database how would any model work upon so in that approach we would be grooming you we would be nurturing you rather than giving you kind of a facade the objective is not just at all and this is the kind of an approach we'll be taking every textbook will be taken over there whether it's biology class 10th and 11th and 12th and friends we would also be going we would be recording it as a part of this module right from class 6th 7th 8th 9th and 10th the evs or whatever the curiosity textbooks the new textbooks of ncrt because that's where the foundational sanskaras of science the interdisciplinarity has been envisaged by the great wise people at the National Council for Educational Research and Training. Somewhere or the other, these fundamental and foundational things are left out in the jazz and the glitz कि भाई हम तो बहुत ज्ञानी हैं हम तो बहुत सुपर इंटेलिजेंट हैं because most of the students are adolescents so they are impressionable age so they get entrapped by these theatrics over there but जो first principles learning है I think that first principles learning just cannot be avoided. So one is Dr. Surbhi, a practicing clinician, having very deep inroads into the entire clinical establishments of all hues, from primary care to secondary, tertiary, and to the hallowed presence of AIMS. She works at the regulatory level, so that insight she has. So, and apart from that, this program would be taught in an interview mode. So I'm a technocrat, but I would be studying biology from Dr. Surbhi एक परिप्रश्न सेवया के रूप से तो जो एक कौतूहल आता है बिकॉज क्लास में हम लोगों को क्वेश्चंस तो बहुत आते हैं पर कहते हैं यार क्वेश्चन पूछ लेंगे तो हमारी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी काहे बात की बेइज्जती हो जाएगी भैया टीचर तो है ही उसलिए पर इन दोज ग्रोइंग टीनेज एंड एडोलेसेंट्स वट एवर टाइम वी आर डॉक्टर सुरभि इस पे आप थोड़ा अपना मंतव्य बताइए
Well, you see, the NEET preparation is a very exciting journey. And जब हम कोई प्रश्न कोई चैप्टर पढ़ते हैं whenever you are studying a new concept lot of questions come in your mind and very often the students in the classroom are fearful of asking this question But do you know this question may appear and does appear in almost everyone's mind? And when we don't ask a question, we are missing that concept. Our curiosity buds are getting stunted. We are suppressing our curiosity. So, questioning is very important. And in this question and answer format, in this interview mode, like a student and a teacher. So this, and it's a very, जो गुरु शिष्य परंपरा है उसमें एक कॉन्फिडेंस, एक बॉन्ड, एक ट्रस्ट होता है. And that trust comes from when the student trusts the teacher has full confidence in the student. So friendly relationship. In that mode will be presenting.
तो हम लोग ये भाषा इंग्लिश रखेंगे, हिंदी और इंग्लिश, बट वी वुड बी फोकसिंग मोर ऑन इंग्लिश. प्रोनाउंसिएशन विल बी वेरी आइटरेटिव. वी वुड बी टॉकिंग, क्योंकि एक बहुत अच्छी बात होती है, एक अच्छा गुरु वही है. अगर आपने चाणक्य का सीरियल देखा होगा तो हमारे यहाँ प्रस्थान त्रयी का भाव है, एक ही श्लोक को गुरु 3 बार वाचन कराता है. तो कक्षा में ही आपका श्रुति जो है, वो कंसंट्रेशन जो है, आपको वो याद हो जाना चाहिए. क्योंकि इट इज़ नॉट अ मूवी. जैसे हम कोई पिक्चर OTT प्लेटफॉर्म पे देख रहे हैं, हमें अगर कोई पूछे अरे भैया क्या क्या देखा, तो शर्लॉक होम्स की तरह जो डिटेक्टिव सीरियल है, हमें वो डॉक्टर अभी से बन जाना है. तो एक एक कॉन्सेप्ट का वाई और उसका जो एप्लीकेशन है रियल लाइफ में, बिकॉज बाई डिंट ऑफ डॉक्टर सुरभि बीइंग अ प्रैक्टिसिंग क्लिनिशियन, वो बता सकती हैं कि ये जो सूत्र है इसका उपयोग रियल लाइफ में वहाँ पड़ेगा. तो जब आपको वाई का एंकर क्लियर हो गया तो आपके दिमाग में वो जो न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स बनेंगे, दे विल बी वेरी वेरी फाइन. द वॉट एंड हाउ यू विल बी अनरावलिंग मोर एंड मोर. It will be collective power pack teaching where I will be the student of Dr. Surbi, the first student, and you all would be, so I would be a tough student for Dr. Surbi. And तो आप ही के, आप लोगों का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हो, because this will be more of a recorded one. We would be having some live sessions also on Tuesdays and Saturdays evenings, but more of them they are live. We will be having an entire digital console, a real-time community, a console, so that you can really pose your questions in an asynchronous manner. A lot of peer learning would be promoted out of it. आप में से किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा, दूसरे ने आंसर दे दिया. कंपटीशन तो है ये नेशनल लेवल का, बट कोलैबोरेटिव कंपटीशन है. आप लोग जो भी इस प्रोग्राम में एनरोल करेंगे, हु विल ऑल बी कमिंग ओवर देयर, तो आप सभी लोग आपस से भी सीखेंगे. एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी लर्न द मोस्ट इवन इन आवर मेडिकल स्कूल्स फॉर दैट मैटर. लॉट ऑफ एग्जामिनेशंस वी विल बी डूइंग इन अ वाइवा वोसे मॉडल. क्योंकि आप डॉक्टर सुरभि के अगर अलग वीडियोस देखेंगे तो MBBS एग्जाम्स में हर प्रोफेशनल्स में जो भी 12 विषय आप पढ़ेंगे 5 साल, तो उनका वाइवा वो से होता है. तो पुस्तकेस्तु तूया विद्या और परहस्तगतम धनम आपद काल प्रपन्ने, इसको मैं परीक्षा काल प्रपन्ने न च विद्या न तद्धनम. तो हमारी वो, अरे पढ़ा तो था, जब तक वो गुना नहीं, तो जो हमारी जो परंपरागत पाठशाला की प्रक्रिया है दोहराने की बात, तो मैं प्रयास करूंगा कि उसको दोहराने का जो रूप है इसका आप लाभ ले पाएंगे. एंड अ मेडिको एंड अ टेक्नोक्रेट, वी बोथ, तो एक अलग ही यूनिक पर्सपेक्टिव आप लोगों को आएगा. और आई वुड बी एबल टू आस्क डॉक्टर सुरभि की, डॉक्टर सुरभि ये जो केमिस्ट्री का कॉन्सेप्ट है ये आपकी पैथोलॉजी में कहाँ यूज होता है? क्योंकि हमें आधा डॉक्टर, उसका जो परसेप्शन है कि हम डॉक्टरी में क्या पढ़ेंगे, वो भी हमें थोड़ा पता चले तो मज़ा आता है. अदरवाइज ऑल दीज स्टडीज बिकम वेरी बोरिंग. And that is why the grandmasters who are the professionals of that domain, and thanks to technology we will be leveraging it all. We will be using a whole lot of apps who would be coming on this project. किसी चीज़ के लिए कुछ, किसी चीज़ के लिए कुछ. Everyone is empowered with a smartphone, so how to scan a kind of a diagram. So because NEET exam is not like the board examinations where you have to really write in long form, आपको पेपर बनाना है, so it is more an abridged one. It is a kind of qualifying मेडिको, जो कि डायग्नोसिस MCQ का जो रीज़न है वो क्यों है, वी विल बी अनरावलिंग इट. क्यों ऐसे MCQs हैं जो क्लोजली रिलेटेड है? बिकॉज एक डायग्नोस्टिशियन, अ डॉक्टर इज अ डायग्नोस्टिशियन, और उसको पूरा कंटिन्यूम है. जैसी मोमेंट में आप घुसते हो तो ऑल दैट एस्पेक्ट्स वी वुड बी टेलिंग यू, बिकॉज वी हैव टू मेक दिस जर्नी रियली एक्साइटिंग. एंड द आइडिया इज whosoever enrolls, there should be a 100% kind of a result oriented preparation. We will be dropping the kids. It's not a movie to watch free for all. It's only a privileged access. It will be kept quite very very nominal in terms of pricing. Whosoever who can't afford even that, because affordability we want to keep, and doing the exercises and creating your own personalized regimen. So a lot of things would be coming in. एंड सिंस नेक्स्ट ईयर इट विल बी ऑल कंप्यूटर एडेड वन, तो गोले करने की भी अब समस्या नहीं है. इट विल ऑल बिकम अ काइंड ऑफ डिजिटल मोड. तो डिजिटल लर्निंग, डिजिटल एग्जामिनेशन, आई थिंक दिस इज द बेस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स. और जो आपको विस्टार्स मिलेंगे, द काइंड ऑफ एक्सपोजर, नॉट एवरी वन कम्स फ्रॉम अ डॉक्टर्स फैमिली, and the conventional medical practices is also going to get disrupted in a extremely big way. The point of care instruments which are coming over there, the digital health missions which are now coming. Dr. Surbi is leading an entire digital clinic, a doctor on record, a digital doctor on record. तो ये सब कहानी किससे भी हमारे रहेंगे, apart from those boring, I would put the boring part under quotes, because we bore a deep tube well as well. So we will be boring your cerebrums, your amygdalas, your entire neural networks with the fascination of the whole universe of medicine. Because and then also you will be, it's a bit of a thing, but since you all will be growing into adults and medicos, and in the very first professional you have to examine the cadavers. So I think some of the medical OTTs, the series, we would be referring to it in a big way, from Grey's Anatomy, from Good Doctor to Doctor House, to Amsterdam. So a lot of web series have come. So how to use these films to really show the life and rigor of a medico, because that is what एक बात है कि अगर आपको डॉक्टर बनना है, डॉक्टर सुरभि ये बात कही उन्होंने अपने उस मेडन वीडियो में, टिप्स ट्रिक्स फॉर रीनीट, कि आपको अपने आप को एक डॉक्टर की तरह मानकर, वो मान्यता, वो धारणा बिठाकर आपको इस यज्ञ में, इस चक्र, इस महायज्ञ में आहूत करना होगा. बिकॉज देन ओनली यू विल रिसीव इट ऑल, अ रेसिपिएंट ऑफ नॉलेज. और दैट इज वाई इट इज अ नर्चरिंग फॉर नीट. इट इज नॉट फॉर लेगार्ड्स और लेजी पीपल, फ्रेंड्स. और भाषा हम लोग सिंपल रखेंगे. लॉट ऑफ फीडबैक्स वी वुड बी ट्राइंग टू मेक, एंड दिस इज मोर ऑफ अ लेबर फॉर लव. डॉक्टर सुरभि का जो भाव है कि ऐसे मेडिकोस बने जो एम्पैथी वाले हों. कॉम्पिटेंस तो एक पार्ट है, बट डॉक्टर सुरभि एम्पैथी को आप बताइए. बिकॉज एंड ड्राइंग से एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम डॉक्टर हाउस, बिकॉज डायग्नोसिस क्रिएट करना is a really challenging part, or that makes an efficacious doctor. Yeah.
You know, when a doctor enters the shoes of the patient, when you know what the patient is undergoing through, that is empathy. And then you are able to reach the diagnosis. Because when you are having empathy, you ask just the right questions to cull out in the history taking. You do the right points of examination and you reach the accurate diagnosis. And once the accurate diagnosis is done, the treatment just follows, which is, most beneficial for the patient. So
So friends, ये जो लिंक है rethingindia.online/neet, हम लोग इस सारे कार्यक्रम का जो, दिस विल बी द एंकर पेज फॉर एवरीथिंग. We will be using, experimenting rather with a lot of technical tools to make it exciting, because technology, आज medical sciences, the most modern surgeons, they are using robotic surgeries, laparoscopic surgeries. So technological platforms are really aiding them a lot, and best of the best doctors are using the power of AI. On top of their human intelligence, they are using the machine intelligence, the processing power of the machine, to come to a kind of an augmented, a kind of an intertwined intelligence to really reach at speedy and differential diagnosis over there. So technology, futuristic, that's why we are saying futuristic medical professional. तो फाउंडेशन पे तो उसकी एम्पैथी होनी बहुत आवश्यक है. दूसरा, टेक ओरिएंटेडनेस इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. यू हैव टू बी टेक सेवी, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी वुड बी रियली ग्रूमिंग यू, सो दैट यू आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ इट ऑल. केवल फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री और बायोलॉजी ही मेडिसिन नहीं है. एंड देन वी विल बी एक्स्ट्रापोलेटिंग एक एक शब्द को. वी विल बी लोअरिंग डाउन आर लेवल्स टू द लेवल्स ऑफ अ 10th 11th 12th ग्रेडर. एंड फोकस ये भी रहेगा कि जो हमारा हिंटरलैंड है, जो सनातन भारत का, जो हमारे जो 6,000 कस्बे हैं और 6 लाख गांव हैं, जहां एक बालक के पास में जियो का या एयरटेल का 200-300 रुपए का मोबाइल है, वह भी वहां से पढ़ सके, मेहनत कर सके और मोबाइल के माध्यम से ईजीली, आसानी से कर सके और संवाद कर सके. हम भी आपसे सीखेंगे कि क्या कुछ दिक्कतें आ रही हैं, क्योंकि भारत को अगर विकसित राष्ट्र बनना है तो अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान, जो कि भारत का उच्चतम संस्थान है, उसका तो ध्येय वाक्य ही है कि शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधनम. तो अगर साधन और एक राष्ट्र का जो समग्र हम लोगों ने जो एक विजन रखा है, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने हमें कहा कि विकसित भारत बने 2047 तक, तो भारत आरोग्य रहेगा। और आरोग्य भारत के लिए, आयुष्मान भारत के लिए तो चिकित्सकों का होना, और ऐसे चिकित्सक जो प्रिवेंटिव, प्रोटोकोलाइज्ड और इंटीग्रेटिव हेल्थ केयर प्रोवाइड करें। मेडिकल इंडस्ट्री शुड नॉट बिकम, इट शुड बी फॉर द सिटीजनरी। नागरिकों के लिए डॉक्टर है, डॉक्टर के लिए नागरिक नहीं है। यह एक
Pause.
दार्शनिक विमर्श है, इस पर भी हम चर्चा करेंगे। एंड वी विल बी ग्रूमिंग योर सेरिब्रल बर्ड्स बाय डिंट ऑफ आवर बैराज ऑफ वीडियोस। आप लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा, ये हमारी पहल रहेगी इस पूरे प्रोसेस में। जो बेस प्रोग्राम रहेगा वो तो सर्वथा हम लोग एक इसका कोई शुल्क नहीं ले सकते, ये तो अमूल्य है। तो ये तो ऋषि ऋण की भाव से डॉक्टर सुरभि का भाव यह है कि उन्होंने जिन बड़े बड़े आचार्यों से, मैं चाहूँगा कि वो उनका नाम लेकर, जिनसे उन्होंने पढ़ा अपने विद्यालय, हमें विद्यालय शिक्षा से इसमें कोई दुसंगति नहीं करनी। आपके जो स्कूल के, विद्यालय के शिक्षक हैं, उनके प्रति हमें कृतज्ञता का ज्ञापन करते हुए, जैसे कि डॉक्टर सुरभि बताएंगे कि कब उनके मन में वो संस्कार पड़े, छठी कक्षा से भी। डॉक्टर सुरभि थोड़ा उसके बारे में भी बताइए, क्योंकि वो कहते हैं ना, श्रद्धावान लभते ज्ञानम। आज हमें पश्चिम और प्राच्य का यही फर्क है। जब भगवान राम, भगवान तो बाद में बने, वो राम अगर धनुर्भंग करने गए तो सब सर्वप्रथम उन्होंने उस धनुष को, शिव धनुष की को प्रणाम किया, उसकी प्रदक्षिणा की, और फिर उन्होंने उसको स्वीकार करके फिर उन्होंने धनुर्भंग का जो उनको उनका कर्तव्य था। और डॉक्टर सुरभि की जो गाथा है, किससे है कि वो मौलाना आज़ाद मेडिकल कॉलेज से हट के उन्होंने 1 वर्ष, जबकि वो ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1 थी, और उन्होंने एम्स को क्यों चुना वो खुद अपनी भाषा में बताएंगी। पर मैं क्विकली बता दूं कि उनको एक ह्यूमन बॉडी का जो सम्मान था, जो अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान में दिया जाता है, कि अगर एक मृत देह भी है, उसको हम कैडावर भी करें, तो उसको भी एम्स में सम्मान दिया जाता है। हम अगर एक रोगी को ट्रीट कर रहे हैं तो वो भी एक भगवत रूप में हमारे समक्ष आ रहा है, जो वेदांत भारत की भावना है। तो उन संस्कारित, संस्कार प्रमुख हैं, और उस संस्कार के अधिष्ठान पर जो कौशल होगा, वही तो एक विकसित, एक दिव्य और भव्य भारत का निर्माण करेगा। तो हम तो अन्नमय कोश से आनंदमय कोश की यात्रा के पथिक हैं। तो वी वुड बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट प्रोटोकॉल्स, बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट रैंक्स, हाउ टू बी रियली कॉम्पिटेंट, but then in the comparative advantage of the civilizational chiti of Sanatan Bharat, that would remain our differentiating factor. तो डॉक्टर सुरभि, would be close this session with your initiations कि आपको एक चिकित्सक बनने की एक बड़ी यात्रा है, और ये बड़ी लंबी यात्रा है दोस्तों। ये धन की दृष्टि से अगर आप चिकित्सक बनना चाहेंगे तो मैं कहूँगा फ्यूचर ऑफ मेडिसिन इज नॉट फॉर देम, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ इट would have been taken over by technology, half by AI, and the other rest of it by the super specialist, the hospitals out there. But if you have to really become efficacious, public policy is also working towards that grassroots पे, primary level पे, because this is the beauty of medicine कि आप हिमालय की किसी कंदरा में भी बैठकर आप जन समुदाय के साथ because that perfect machine is out there. You don't have to go to a San Francisco or a Seattle or any of the global capitals for doing it. You can really go back to your roots and really enjoy a very fine lifestyle and becoming useful for the citizenry out there, and earn and become a really productive vocation out there. That is the philosophical purport we would be pushing over and over and over again. And we would be having concept level quizzes, real time linkages to the medical school studies and life thereafter. तो एक बोरियत में थोड़ा गाना, थोड़ा मैं, इफ़ आई एम बिकमिंग लिबरल इन माई लैंग्वेज, थोड़ा तड़क भड़क भी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा मसाला भी होना चाहिए, अदरवाइज इट बिकम्स अ टफ जर्नी एंड मोटिवेशन। अगर कहीं हम डाउन जा रहे हैं, इवन योर पर्सनल इश्यूज, we'll be trying to address as much as our time would permit, because we are busy professionals. But we felt like, let us give our collective learnings through the profession, through our years of the grueling coachings through which we attained our own laurels, because this is also, friends, not the end of it. This is just the end of a grand beginning. So we have to see it that way. Vanity should not take over us. And a host of adolescent and teenager issues are there, and this primary videos is also for the teachers and for the parents. We would be bringing your teachers and parents also as your study companions.
Yes.
Because those are some of the issues. So Dr. Surbi, just quickly an ode to your gurus on this Doctor's Day, which made you possible as a doctor. right from your early memories to the most advanced professional mentors as well. So, with that ode, we will be closing this initial session of Nurturing the Need program. Yeah.
I would take this moment today and thank all those legendary gurus who have carved and chiseled me out for what I am today. Starting from class sixth, when I was in the Great Britain and United Kingdom, and Martin Tim Vincent sir was my teacher, who made me draw the human digestive system on watercolor on a big canvas. And the day I drew and painted the digestive system, I discovered and deciphered the meticulous way the divine providence has designed our human body. And when I saw the mannequins and the computer simulated training of the understanding the human body, the scintillating scientist in me got aroused that I have to be a healer and heal this human body and cure all the maladies, the pains, the sufferings of humanity. And in this journey, when I in my school DPS Puram, I had my teachers. I would pray and give an ode, thank my teachers, all of them, my biology teachers, C.S. Mishra sir, Bagga ma'am, Renu Saxena ma'am, and my chemistry teachers, Dhami ma'am, my physics teacher, Suresh Kumar sir, and going on to J.C. Chaudhary sir, my Suri sir, and in at my aims, I would take this special opportunity to thank my doyens of medical learning who have been from Basu sir in anatomy, Dr. Basu, Dr. Anup Mishra sir, Madam Dawar ma'am, Dr. Ramesh Dawar ma'am from pathology, from physiology, we had Dr. R.L. Bijlani sir, in the microbiology, Professor Mirdha, in pathology, as I mentioned, Dr. Dawar ma'am, forensic medicine, Dr. Dogra sir, pharmacology, Professor Y.K. Gupta sir, internal medicine, there's an entire Professor Jane Pandey sir was the revered guru. We lost him in COVID, but then we have S.K. Sharma sir, S.N. Mehta sir, and Anurag Srivastav sir, Dr. Anurag Srivastava, and in surgery, in internal medicine, in pediatrics, Professor Pankaj Hari, Professor M.K. Bhan, and Madam Veena Kalra, Professor Veena Kalra ma'am, Dr. Rohini Handa sir, who is a doyen in rheumatology. Then we have Dr. Rakesh Mahajan sir. Then we have Meherban Singh sir, Professor Jiten Maheshwari sir, Madam Dr. Anju Virmani. Then we have in Dr. Shashi Dhar ma'am, who taught us neuroanatomy. Then we have Professor Balram Bhargav sir, who had taught us cardiology. Then we have in community medicine, we have Professor C.S. Pandav sir, also known as the iodine man of India now. And he has been such an iconic person in community medicine. Dr. Beer Singh sir. And we have in gynecology, I would not, there's an entire list of my gurus, Dr. Professor Nija Batla ma'am. Then we have Dr. Alka Kriplani ma'am, Dr. Sunita Mittal ma'am. I'm grateful to one and all for this chiseling and carving out and an ode to all the gurus of my learning all through the career. If I may miss some name, I would give my ode to the Guru Tattva in all my teachers. And ever when I've attempted any paper or done any exam or seen any patient, it has been the same. Remember my gurus, remember my
And
ishtas.
some of your professional mentors, Dr. Surbi, across your professional career, who guided you p- out of the AIMS hallowed presence, please pay your ode to them also on this very solemn occasion.
So yes, of course, my mentors have been, fellow students and senior colleagues from my DPS RK Puram and my AIMS pedigree.
And
So
professional mentors like
and professional mentors, yes, of
Dr.
course.
Trehan and all, yeah.
So Dr. Naresh Trehan sir from Medanta, Professor Dr. VP Singh sir, who's a neurosurgeon.
So what was that message of Dr. Trehan when you had went to serve Medanta for that matter? And that's a core message. What a doyen clinicians of his stature he brought your attention towards that, because you diversified your, because you had been a great learner and tried to encapsulate as much as ground as much as possible. Remain
Absolutely.
true to being a clinician, what Dr. Trehan said. Yeah.
Yes, it was an electrifying moment for me when I met Dr. Trehan sir at Vedanta, and he was dressed in his OT attire. And he met me and he said, "Oh, Amazonians, you are the real brain of India.
Hmm.
And you should be an ace clinician serving patients, reaching the last mile. You are a commando. A
Hmm.
clinician is a commando. For
Hmm.
him, every patient is like not less than going to the Siachen. So
Hmm.
his message was always be a clinician at heart and heal millions and just be a true Amazonian. And
Hmm.
this message just embedded in my heart and my soul was on fire. So that is a message which I always remember. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Bajrang Patel. He has been a true mentor in the professional workspace who has kindled and ignited the clinician in me further and further. And of course, Professor Dr. VP Singh sir, an ace neurosurgeon
And
for
what
me.
about Dr. Neeti Paul, who really gave you that fillip into taking the doctor on record movement of the National Health Services of the UK? Because you have started your journey, your inspiration from the United Kingdom, and you are in the India's UK of Uttarakhand, serving the remote and rural localities, and that inverted pyramid of the system, like a doctor on record, a GP, a family physician, a community physician. Just an ode to Dr. Neeti Paul for that matter. Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to Madam Dr. Neeti Paul. She is such a ace clinician herself, and how she is a part of the NHS system of the United Kingdom. And I had an opportunity to work with her, and how she motivated me and inspired me to bring that NHS system into practice as the spine and backbone of the GP movement, to ignite and lead that GP movement, to start that doctor on record torch bearing, and to spread this message that every house, every family must have a family doctor attached, and accurate, which is called the best, to make the best out of medical care, and I learned from
And
her.
she brought an entire battery of great, I would say, learners to really groom you, to power pack, learn to you, to get oriented into this entire domain of family physician practice.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she reinstilled the faith in our Indian esoteric practices as well, which are coming from the West. How the West is following the massage therapies, the reflex acupressure, that power, which we often forget, when we are following
So Dr.
allopathy.
Neeti Paul has been instrumental in rekindling that power and prowess of a GP as the foundational physician, and that is what an MBBS degree empowers someone towards that, because the pyramidization of the entire medical spectrum is fine. We at Arogyam Institute of Integrated Medical Sciences see it more as a segmented one. That when you have seen after an MBBS program at least 10,000 cases spread over say 3 years, then you make your decision, oh, which specialization or sub specialization I have to really go, what trajectory I have to really adopt. And that's a advocacy what Dr. Surbi is doing on her other platforms. And Dr. Surbi, how Dr. Neeti Paul's advocacy got taken over by a IT giant like the HCL of the Doyen in Shivnadar sir, and your experiences and your ode to the Shivnadar sir, who really created such a magnificent corporation, and his commitment to create a healthcare major, to really the dehospitalization part of it, the grassroots
In fact,
clinics part of it. Yeah.
it's really intriguing to see the HCL healthcare experience, the kind of edifice they have created in partnership with Johns Hopkins, and how the HCL clinics have created. I was one of the founding members of the team, and I got to interact with Shivnada sir and his entire team, where there were IITians, there were doctors, I mean, a doctor in me, and many of techies who had joined together to create that healthcare environment. Now, of course, I was one of the first doctors to join them. There were a huge battery of doctors in various.
So friends, the entire purpose of this Mangalacharan, generally हम लोगों की परंपरा में प्राथमिक में होता है, because you become a doctor only after being chiseled, only after being nurtured by such a huge battery of doyens. And until or unless you have that shraddha, and the grilling and grueling is very very tough, and as it is said that a real doctor, it's like a tapascharya. So I think nurturing for NEET is the first step towards that. Aspiring for NEET, having the initial, I would say, qualifications what Dr. Surbi talked about it, learning the concepts and precepts of physics, chemistry and biology from the perspective of that 3 hour game. It's a kind of a Chak De movie if you see कि ये 3 घंटे, ये 180 मिनट तुमसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता. तो getting into that trance state, getting into that fascination stage, programming your cerebrum, really learning it all, that's a whole process. And when a doyen like Dr. Surbhi teaches you that, those very nuts and bolts of it from that vantage, and from the vantage of AIMS doctors, how they chiseled her in those classrooms of those very deep subjects, the 12 subjects which maketh an MBBS doctor, a doctor, RMP for that matter. That is the essential qualification of it all. We are focusing more it from the MBBS program perspective, but we have nothing against becoming a physiologist, becoming a dentist, because they all have their own sub-specialization. Becoming a dentist makes you a sub-specialist right at the UG level. And the kind of impact a dentist is bringing, if your parents are dentists, why not become a dentist? And that is a, because हमारी स्माइल में जो ये जो दंत पंक्तियां उद्भासित हो रही हैं कि राजू तुम्हारे दांत ऐसे मोतियों जैसे क्यों चमक रहे हैं. So I think we have to really, if India has to really become a Viksit Rashtra, and that will be our approach. Nothing high, nothing low. I tell you, in engineering, there is a pecking order, like the UPSC examination. Some services higher, some services lower. Engineering branches, somewhere it has become it like that. But हमारा interest, MBBS program is a egalitarian program. आप 5 वर्ष जितने भी देश के 1 लाख से ऊपर जो छात्र हैं वो वही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ेंगे 5 साल. वो सब लोग एक डॉक्टर बन के आएंगे क्योंकि शरीर तो एक ही है, सारे सिस्टम्स को वही पढ़ेंगे. उसके बाद आप चयन करते हो कि आपको किस विधा का विशेषज्ञ बनना है. डॉक्टर सुरभि ने चूज किया कि मुझे तो सभी विधाओं का ही विशेषज्ञ बनना है. एंड शी इज ट्राइंग, एंड दैट्स व्हाट इट इज कॉल्ड अ मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस, that my super specialization lies in stitching together the various super specializations. That coordination का जो रोल है वो जो है एक सूत्रधार का जो कार्य है, because उनका जो empathy index है that is much higher, and that's why we have put up a kind of a concentric circles. तो सभी कुछ appropriate है हमारे चिति के अनुसार, हमारे अनुसार. And growing forward, even the Ayush protocols, there is a lot of convergence happening. Indian knowledge systems are coming very deeply into the entire medical system. The West and the East are really converging as envisaged by the doyens and rishis, and that is obviously evidence-based medicine. So technology, various therapies, various, I would say, various practices. So that is all the exciting word of medicine is all about. So the nurturing for NEET program would not be just the morose, the conventional PCB, but much beyond. But the grounding, the grouting would be there, so that you are amply anchored and you really become a futuristic medical professional who is mesmerizing, who is efficacious, and we would be your friend and philosopher and guide through this model. Dr. Subi, closing words, and this orientation session will be
So just with the word of Henry Ford, I would say that, when you work so hard, and you work so well, when work becomes play. So when you enjoy your work so much that you start playing, you start just like, excelling. That is the spirit we want to achieve. For the man who wins is the one who thinks he can. You are the hope for tomorrow, the future of tomorrow. So always remember this responsibility that I am the hero of tomorrow. I am the doctor of tomorrow to heal the world.
So friends, stay tuned on this channel, and we would be updating you about this fabulous, fantastic program. And you can really take it as a supplement to your own learning, the trajectories of it all, and in any order we would be guiding you through this mode of videos over and forward.